All right, this should be fun. This was sent into the channel by Banggood. It's a HF radio, and it's like multi-band. So I did a videos on me building the little QCX radio, I think it is, the little monobander, which is a really cute little radio, and I just love that kit. It was really, really fun to build. This is not a kit. It came all put together, so it might have been really, really fun kit, but it just came all put together. And but it's multi-band. It's 80 meters through 6 meters, and I think there were some different versions made of this. There was an original one, and then somebody in China took it and made it simpler and made it cost reduced. So I don't think it has as good a specs as the original one, but it's at a better price point. And this one does not go down to 160 meters. I think the original one went to 160 meters, and I think the firmware makes you think you can do that, but you can't. It doesn't go below 3 megahertz. But it does go to 3 megahertz, and like I said, above. So I think the first thing to do is, let's take a look inside this thing, because so I got this thing, and it was in a tiny little box and shipping, and I said, well, gee, it's really, really heavy. What is it? I couldn't think of it, what I had ordered. This thing is really, really, really heavy. So yeah, let's open it up and take a look. It has battery inside of it, so I think a lot of the weight is battery, right? So the interface is much like the QCX part that I built. But the cool thing about this one is it's got a built-in speaker, and it's got a built-in microphone. This thing is all set to go. So you can actually transmit it with it. Right here's the push to talk. You can push it, and you can talk into it, and you can hear it. So it's a pocket HF rig. It's really, really cool. There's lots of things here. Output to power amplifier. I think it's good to 5 watts. Here's the key, so it's got iambic keying. Oh, and it has CW decoding, just like the other one. I think it's based off the same firmware, so it'll copy CW for you. Microphone, UART. Yeah, UART. I think people can use this with FT8 as well. Speaker output. And over on this side, you can put in external power, 13.8 volts. I think it'll go up to 10 watts. If you use an external power. And then it's got the internal power, and then a separate charge connection for the battery. So this is 12.6 volts at 1 amp. It comes with a charger, so this is included to charge the battery. This is not included if you want to use the 13.8 volts. And then normal connector. But I think we should look inside. So let me move you over a bit, and I'll open this thing up. Let's see, where can I put? I don't want to lose these, I'll put them here. Oh dear. Maybe this is a bad idea. Maybe this is a very bad idea. Oh well, I'm in this far. I want to see inside. Oh, I want to see inside. Okay. Oh, there we go. Look at that. All right, let me rearrange the camera a bit, and we can look in here. I think we'll have to go a little bit deeper. So here's all the low-pass filter switching for the different bands. So that's official. Here's the little front panel board, little display. Here's a heat. See, this must be the, I don't know what that is, if it's a, if that's the power amplifier. It could be, yeah. Could be. All right. Let's see here. In order to go deeper, all right, lots of screws. I think this display should just unplug, and it does. This is just off-the-shelf display. And this little card here is fascinating. It just is the switch over here. I don't really quite know what that switch does. It goes off on this little red button underneath. I don't know what that one does. Front panel stuff, but yeah, here's the radio. There we go. There's the radio. So I know you want to see in here too. What do you say I change lenses? All right. We have a sea of toroids here. Nothing too much interesting over here. There is a little nose pig balun over here that's probably the SWR bridge here. And then everything else was probably low pass filtering. Looks like a little FET over here. Let's see, where's my magnifier? It's way in the back. Over there. Let's see if I can read these or not. Oh, this is a 5-volt regulator. So 5-volt regulator is here. Sorry, that's a 5-volt regulator there. So yeah, this I believe is the radio on a chip. So this chip here looks like an a PW55 something or other. It's underneath the, yeah, it looks like a PN555. I think that's the radio on the chip right there. And then this is just a 7400. I don't know what that chip is. Here's an oscillator. 25 megahertz oscillator. And in the firmware, there's an adjustment, so you can tell it what that 2500 really is. You can tweak it up and down in firmware. I should calibrate mine. This is an Atmega 328. This is an op amp. I'm sorry, I'm not following up on the camera here. This is the 328 Atmega, and this is an LM 358 op amp. And that goes over to the speaker here, speaker connector, I think, or maybe I think so. Anyway, then I don't know what the other chips are. There's some pretty strange part numbers on other chips, but I need to find a schematic for this thing. It even looks like a little optocoupler here, maybe for the push-to-talk or UART or something. Interesting. There's really not a lot in radios these days, right? You need something to be smart, and then you need a radio. And I think these chips do everything. I think this chip just does everything. Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's all there is. So I'll go around the board here. All right, over to this side. There you go. Very, very interesting. Okay, and then let's see if we can figure out what that TO220 part is. It's an IFR 510, so that's the final amplifier. So that's the power FET on the output, right there with the heatsink on it. So yeah. Let's see if I can put it all back together and make it work again. Anyway, I had fun. Let's see here. Here's this little board. Nothing on it except switches and microphone. All right, let me put it together and we'll turn it on. All right, just notice this this knob. Normally you would see a plastic knob, right? This is solid metal, not even hollowed out. It's nice and solid. So yeah, nice construction. And on the flat here. All right. Does it still work? Yes. Still works just fine. All right, let's hook it up, see if it does something. All right, so we're receiving WWV. So we can turn the volume down. Oop. Mode. Okay, we want to do upper sideband, I guess. All right, there we go. We're listening to WWV at 15 megahertz. I can just hear it at 10 megahertz also. How about 5? I can just... No, I can't hear anything at 5. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, so yeah, should be coming in really good at 15 and sometimes at 20. I don't hear anything at 20. Yeah, there's a strange there's some QSB on the signal, so it's fluctuating up and down. Well, that's pretty good. Let's see if there's anything on at 2 meters, I mean 20 meters. Oh, there we go. There's some CW. Yeah, signals are really, really poor right now. But you can see it's trying to decode it, but the signals are so bad right now. There we go. I got "and" right. Anyway, you can see that it's doing its thing. Let's go to upper sideband, see if we can hear anybody. Here's FT8. That's some other mode. I don't know the sounds of all the modes. I should. Okay, let me show you. Let's go off here with this no noise. Let's turn the volume down so it's not making any noise as well. So in the menu system, there's volume, mode, upper sideband, lower sideband, CW. The filter you can change different, all the way down to 50. So it has a DSP filter in it. The different bands. So it has all of the work bands and everything. So do it on 20. Tuning rate, VFO mode has A and B, it has RIT, automatic gain, noise reduction. Noise reduction, I didn't get good results with the noise reduction. You can set the S meter to S meters or dBms or SWR, stuff like that. Set the tone frequency for the, it has, like I said, iambic here. And it's got the, you can have it set up to do CQ in your call sign. Reference frequency you can tweak. The IQ phase, that's complicated, so. All right, so yeah, I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Let's hook it up to a spectrum analyzer, take a look at this output. All right, let's do some output power testing. 29 megahertz. It says 2.35 here, but it says 1.89 there. So this is the one to trust. Let's try 28. 2.9, 2.5. Let's do 21. 3.07, 2.67. Let's do 14, 4.49, 4.34, 10 megahertz, 317, 7 megahertz. Now at 7 megahertz it jumps. So now we're at 8.2, and here we're at 8.72. So 8.2 watts at 7, and 2.35 at 4, nothing at 3. Let's go to, oops, let's see. Let's go to 3.5. There we go. 9.68. So quite a bit of power at these frequencies. And then it drops down. So right in the CW band. And so it's interesting. Not quite sure what reasoning there is about how much power it outputs, but it does vary. But it does have a power meter, and it has an SWR meter also. Since we're in a dummy load, it's a perfect SWR, so it's nice that it has an SWR meter in it. 7.2 megahertz. And you hear tone. We're actually modulating FM. We don't want to do that. There we go. So it gives us a nice tone. And yeah, we're not modulating. All right, let's go to lower sideband, and let's turn on AM modulation. This doesn't have FM modulation. So it cuts off around 400 hertz. 300 is quite quiet. It's loudest around 800, and then you can hear it up to 3.5. So that seems to be okay. We're at minus 90. We're at S4. Let's go to, let's turn this up. So we get to S9. At S9, we're right about minus 56, so not a great sensitivity on this radio. Yeah, not very good sensitivity. Let's try 14 meters. Uh, 14 megahertz. Let's see what kind of sensitivity it has here at 14.2. And we're at S9, so let's turn it down. No, same thing. We're getting S9 right around 56, so yeah, not very good sensitivity. Let's turn it down so we can just barely hear it. Oops. I hate reaching over the camera. I try to stay out of your guys' way, but then I always mess up. Okay. 14.2 megahertz. All right. Let's go down here. I'm just gonna have to reach in. I'll turn this down. It's getting kind of raspy at minus 88. So it could be that the sensitivity is, seems like it has sensitivity down to minus 80, but the S meter is off. So maybe the S meter is just not calibrated. Minus 72. Seems pretty good. Yeah, so this is 14 megahertz. That first harmonic is over here at 28 megahertz, the second harmonic. All right, so we'll do a peak search. We'll do a delta marker, and it's minus 45.9 dB down. Okay, so that's its performance at 14 megahertz. Okay, so let's try 7 megahertz. And we will capture this. All right, and then we will do a normal marker, peak search, delta marker, next peak right. And this marker is at 14 and megahertz, and it is down minus 48 dB. So, all right, doing good there. Yeah, so let's take a look at the purity. Let's go back to 14 megahertz. We're at 10 kilohertz now. Let's change the bandwidth to 1 kilohertz. Well, that doesn't look so bad. Not so bad at all. All right, I like it. Okay, for this test, I have a dummy load that has a RF sniffer. So a very little bit of power is coming out the RF sniffer, and I have a wire kind of capacitively coupled onto that sniffer, and it's going into my radio here. The antenna is disconnected, and it's just listening to the sniffer. And I'm going to be transmitting on lower sideband at 322.3, and here we go. Hello, this is a test. Test, test, test. I think I can hear myself. Look at that. You can see it on the waterfall display over there. Hello, test, test, test. So that's lower sideband. Let's try upper sideband. Hello, test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. And we need to go to upper sideband over here. The waterfall looked okay though. Sideband, there we go. Hello, test. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, test. So, I think the radio works great. Turn this off. Well, there you go. That's my review of the micro SDR radio. It's built really well. It seems to operate okay. You know, it's not going to be as good as an ICOM 7300, but it does fit in your pocket, and it's all self-contained, battery and everything. Oh, it doesn't have a tuner, but does give you indication of SWR and stuff, and it outputs QRP. Yeah, I think it's a winner.